Hello everyone, my name is Mike, and thanks for tuning in to K8MRD Radio Stuff. So today we're going to be looking at a new radio, and how I got this radio came about by an email that I got about a week ago from Retevis, and they were asking, I guess they saw my HD1 video, and asked if I would like to review any of their other radios. So, of course, I said yes. Who doesn't want to get a free radio in the mail? So, I said, why don't you shoot me over the RT52? That looks like a pretty neat radio. So they did. I think they contacted me January 8th. It's January 16th today. So, got it pretty quick. They sent it, they must have sent it like super express mail or something, because usually packages from China take 6 weeks or so. So, that was pretty cool. They sent me a nice Retevis hat too. So thanks guys. So let's see what this radio is all about. Stay tuned. So here's everything it comes with. I'll save you all the unboxing. You get your radio, the charger, the charging cord, antenna. Your typical stuff that you'd get in a radio. One of the nice things I'm liking about this, just really quick, is the fact that these are 12 volts. So that means I can take, not this one, but another one. I actually have one. An extra wire that has this barrel connector to it. Plug it in here. Thinking power poles, right? So if I need to charge on the go, I can take this with me. If I don't have this, that's okay, because I have another cable that's 12 volts. So everything's 12 volts. You don't need converters. Like, I wouldn't need to bring my inverter with me to plug this into out in the field. I'm really digging that, at least with the HD1 and this radio, they're both 12 volt inputs, so that's good. So it charges at 12 volts, but the batteries are 7.4. So here's the radio itself. The battery clip actually is pretty tough, so this thing's going to come out. You've got a 2400 milliamp battery, or excuse me, 2200 milliamp. Looks like it's got some watertight, some waterproofness to it. One thing I noticed, I don't see an FCC ID on here anywhere, so this may or may not actually be legal in the US of A. I guess it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission, so I'm good with that. But a lot smaller than the HD1. I'll show you for comparison. There's the HD1. So, this is a nice hefty radio. I've got pretty small hands, so this actually feels pretty good. A couple features about it. You've got your push to talk A and your push to talk B. So you've got two PTTs. I've been curious about trying a radio that had two PTTs. So I don't know if I'll screw it up or not. Not sure what this is for. Probably some programmable key. Your SMA male on the top there. You've got, let's see, this continually spinning, so it's not just a 16 and out, so you can program a bunch of different channels in there. We'll get into that in a little bit. Another cool thing I kind of liked about this clip actually just slides in. So let's do that, or try to. Yeah, and then it just locks in. There's a little locking tab there. So that's got a fairly good grip. One of the things that drew me to this radio was the fact that it had a darker screen. So let's turn this on. Oh, cool! They sent me the GPS version. Thanks, guys. So as opposed to the other DMR radios that has this kind of dealio going on, this has kind of the reverse effect going on. So I kind of like that. I'm curious to see which I prefer. So anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell. You've got your standard antenna there. My cat meowing in the background. You've got 136 to 174 and 400 to 470. So pretty standard for any of these Chinese radios. So, but overall, I mean, in terms of quality, it feels to be not the same exact plastic that the HD1 is made of, but pretty darn close, pretty rugged. You know, it's definitely, this is on the, this is a bit more of an entry level, I guess you would say. This is, I think they retail for about 125 on eBay and stuff, where this was about 200. I think I paid exactly 200 bucks for it, 199 or something like that. So anyway, let's see what we can do with this guy. Hey, look, I changed. Ha, it's a different day. So I've had a couple days now to play around with this radio, and I'll tell you what, I really do like this. I like it a lot. We'll get into that a little bit, but I wanted to do a quick audio test for you guys. I've got Jason, K8TSG, standing by. He is in Ohio. I'm going through my hotspot because there's no repeaters around here. So that's all we get, but let's give him a call. K8TSG, this is K8MRD.
K8MRD, K8TSG. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, doing good, Jason. Just trying out this new Retevis RT52 for the channel. Just wanted to see if I could get anyone out there and see how it sounded from your side and my side and all that kind of stuff. So how's it sounding on your end? Go ahead.
Sounds pretty good, nice and clear. I mean, clear for DMR as you can get. Sounds really good.
Right on. What kind of radio are you listening on?
I'm coming back to you on an Anytone 868
Okay.
2 week.
Okay, right on. Well, you're sounding crystal clear here as well. I assume you're running through one of your hot spots there in Ohio, and yeah, you're sounding great. This is a really nice little radio. I'm quite liking it. It fits my small hands, so I'm gonna give it a win.
Great, yeah. I mean, I'm indeed coming through one of my hot spots, and I'm looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are in your video.
Cool, man. Well, I will get back to making this video, and I hopefully will have it either later today or hopefully tomorrow at the latest. So, hey, thanks for coming back and giving me your thoughts. Kate, TSJ, this is TSG, excuse me. I had to look because I don't have your call sign on my screen. This is K8MRD. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you.
Roger that. Catch you later. KTSG clear.
So there you go. I'm really liking this radio, like I said. That is totally honest. You can look, see how the GPS is green? I'm inside and the GPS is on. My Ilance HD1 doesn't even do that. I got to be outside for that. So that's pretty sweet. I like the screen. There's a lot I like about it. We'll get into that later. But there's a brief little audio report there for you. Okay, so now we've seen the Retevis RT52 in action, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of the features of the radio real quick. Dual PTT operation, that's new to me. I really like it. I think it's cool to be able to, the top key will do both if you want to, or you can program the bottom key to do the bottom channel, or you can program the bottom key to do several other things. So that's pretty neat. You can actually program there's a little middle key as well. The GPS on this thing I have found to be fantastic. It picks up the GPS signal inside my house, and radio waves don't like my house. My house is like a Faraday cage. My HD1 won't even work GPS inside. It's got a single and dual standby switch. What that means is it'll either monitor both channels at once, or it'll only monitor whichever one you have that MAZN, which I believe is main zone. That's the only thing I can figure out. It's got 4,000 channels, 250 zones, 16 channels per zone.
different scanning functions. I'm not really sure what that means. Vox, if you're into Vox, you can send SMS messages through it. Emergency alert, I don't know what that means. There's a monitor function which basically just opens the squelch. You can kill it or stun it in digital mode. So if you're more, that's more commercial side. So is the lone worker, director repeater, TDMA tier 2 modes for Hytera, Motorola, and Kirasan. I'm not sure what that is. And voice recording, so you can record and play back your QSOs, I suppose. So pros and cons. I want to say that I really do like this radio. I was a little, I guess, skeptical when I got it. But after using it for the last few days and kind of getting my head around it and playing around with it, I've taken this with me every day, everywhere I go. Instead of my HD1 has become my everyday carry radio, and I swapped this out for it, and I haven't really missed the HD1 other than I just love that radio. And it is a bit louder. So pros, it is easy to program the analog frequencies from the keypad. And by that I mean I can take it out of the box and program a repeater, the offset, the CTCSS, this, that, and the other thing, no problem. So that was cool. And the programming software that you download from Retevis is, it was weird at first. It was a little bit different. I'm going to do a separate video on that. It was a little bit different than some of the other programming software that I've used, but once I got the hang of it, I actually liked it. I won't say better, but in a different way than some of the other ones. There's some nice features that make just the simple act of writing a code plug is terrible, and there were some things in there that I thought were nice. I love the screen. I love the contrast as opposed to just having that big bright white light that every DMR radio seems to have. The black background with the white lettering is, I think it's just a lot sexier to look at. It makes it look, I just think it makes it look nicer, in my opinion. You may disagree, but hey, that's fine. Where are we? Yeah, the GPS receiver is great. I think I touched on that. Like I said, it receives inside my house. I'm looking at it right now. It's green. It's amazing. It will also set the time for you, which I thought was really neat. If the battery runs dead, the time gets reset. And if you're on GPS, it will reset it for you. That's pretty cool. Cosmetically or visually rather, it's got a great looking signal meter. It's not just one of those bars like on your phone or even on some of the other radios. It's basically a graph that goes from left to right across the, very similar to it's basically exactly what you would find on a mobile VHF UHF radio. So I thought that was really nice, and the build quality is great. It's very similar to the hard polymer used for the HD1 and some of the other DMR radios out there. So super rugged. I could probably drop this thing on the ground and not have any problems. I don't want to do that because it's really pretty. So yeah, that's great. So there are some cons. I am nitpicking a bit, as I tend to do. First and foremost, and this is really my biggest gripe. Everything else I could live with. It only has 4,000 contacts. So by that I mean you cannot import all of the DMR database, which you really can't on any radio now because last I checked there's about 119,000 contacts. But yeah, I mean it would be nice just to have like USA, you know, maybe some of the European stations, Australia, New Zealand, some of the ones that I hear more frequently on the talk groups that I listen to. But that's simply not an option. So it just when it's receiving, it just shows the DMR ID. So not a deal breaker, but you know, I don't know how much internal memory this thing has. I don't know if that can be fixed with a firmware upgrade to allow that. That's really my only the only thing I don't like about this radio. All the programming must be from the software that I have found, except the analog that we talked about earlier. DMR programming, I feel, could be a lot better. I think it could be organized in a better way. But that's for another video. One thing that I love about these radios that I've gotten from Retevis is that the charge input is from 12 volts. So when I take my Go box, my battery box, whatever, I basically just cut the cord and put an Anderson power pole on it, plug that barrel connector into the charging cradle, and you've got 12 volts. The catch is with this one, the input on the cradle is a different size than my two other DMR radios. So I would have to take a different cable to charge this. One thing they could do is make all of the battery configurations the same, but they don't. So what can you do? The audio could be louder. It is definitely adequate inside, but I found that when I'm driving, I'm struggling to hear it, or especially outside. I've had a couple conversations outside, and I've had to put the radio up to my ear to hear it. So, you know, what can you do? But it does sound great. And another little quirk, it's so almost completely irrelevant to me because I absolutely hate broadcast radio. I listen to satellite radio, but this thing does have an FM radio built inside, and I cannot get it to work for the life of me. I've programmed the top button to just go to the radio, and I can program a frequency in. Here in Detroit, it's the quote-unquote rock station, if you're stuck in the 80s, is WRIF 101.1. And that's what I programmed in, and it didn't work. There is zero audio coming in through it, so that's about it. So just some features and you know, thoughts on the radio. Yeah, I definitely say it's a win overall, and I really do like this radio. It's about $130 at the time of making this video. So you know, if you're in for a smaller, inexpensive handheld DMR radio, I'd say go for it. If you got any questions, please post them in the comments below. I am going to be doing a separate video on the programming software for this, and I will put the links to where you can get the programming software in the description below. So thanks guys for watching 7-3. This is Mike, and you're watching K8 MRD Radio Stuff.